Hey everyone, so I see New York has voted in Mondani. Personally, I am not in favor of him. I'm not in favor of Bernie Sanders and the whole socialist agenda. And the reason being is that Canada is a socialist country. And you can see what's happening in Canada. Canada is sinking into poverty. Unemployment is the highest it's been since pre-COVID levels. And things are just not working. In England, the social agenda is not working. It's also become socialist. They want to limit families to 2 children. And in the future, they'll be complaining that, oh, we don't have enough population growth. So I don't support the socialist and the communist agenda. And it's not just because he's Muslim. That's part of it, but I don't support what he stands for. And basically, New York has fallen. Why would I want to go to New York now? I mean, for years and years and years, I wanted to go to New York because if you're a graduate, if you're educated, if you're qualified, that's the place you want to be. You want to be in New York, you want to be earning those good salaries, you want to be part of that business culture and business community. Why would I want to go to New York now? It's going to become like Toronto. It's going to become exactly the same because, and it's not just me saying it, I've been watching podcasts and watching other presenters. If you build more rented rooms or build more housing, so-called affordable housing, and people don't have the money to pay for that housing, how are you going to rent it out? And also, if you're not going to make a profit on that, why do you want to rent it out? They're just basically creating slavery. That's what they're doing. Instead of looking after our children, we are letting our children sink into poverty. Why would you limit the number of children that families can have? Why wouldn't you rather make sure that businesses can thrive, that people can earn a living wage, that people can have enough to pay for their housing, their accommodation, whatever they need to do, and make loans and things available? Why wouldn't you do that? Why would you vote in somebody who has a socialist agenda or a communist agenda? And I mean, if you're going to vote for somebody based on their religion, that makes no sense. Unless you want that place to become an Islamic city or to become an Islamic zone. I mean, people don't hire me because I'm Catholic. I don't even get accommodation to go to church. I don't get loans for my ministry. I don't get loans to help others. I don't. So for me, New York has fallen. That's basically it. They want to bring in all the immigrants and everything, and then when the populations tip and those places become Islamic nations or Somali nations or whatever, then they want to say, oh, well, you know, we didn't want this. But you don't want to integrate people either. You don't want people like me who are hardworking, who are educated, who go above and beyond, who arrive early for work, who stay late, who have good attitudes. You don't want us. So, you know, New York's going to see what's going to happen. His agenda was the same agenda they had here. They said we don't need more police. We need less police. Defund the police. Crime won't go up. Crime went up. Everything turned out the opposite. Yeah, we know police are not healthcare professionals. We know that. But at the same time, we do need our police. We don't need to be terrified of them. But I don't think that socialist agenda is going to work. And I don't support Bernie Sanders. I've never supported Bernie Sanders because he's the guy that will promote you earning as little as possible with a graduate degree, postgraduate degree, and certifications, and make sure you stay in those minimum wage jobs and you never come up You're never able to afford your own home. You're never able to afford cars and travel. You're never able to support Catholic teaching, which says that our families should be able to provide for themselves, own properties, and come up in life. And he shouldn't quote Mandela. He shouldn't, because Mandela, that country, it was under white leadership for a while, just like Zimbabwe. There were supports put in place to help it to thrive. And if you look at what's happening now, it's only because of the pressure coming from the outside, from people like me, that places are improving, like ESCOM. You'd go and talk to any South African and ask them, is life getting better for you? And they will tell you it's not. They'll tell you it's not. Just like life is not getting better for the ordinary person in Toronto. It's not. The socialist agenda doesn't work. If you look at Sadiq Khan is now mayor in London, England. So if everything's supposed to be so good under the Muslim leadership, how come poverty levels are growing? How come they want to have only 2 children homes? And they want to make it legal. That's like what the communists did. They made it illegal to have more than, I think it was 1 or 2 children. I think it's 1 child. You can only have 1 child. I'm telling you that what's happening is evil. It is evil. It's impacting your life. It's impacting my life. But people don't want to speak up about it. I honestly don't know what New Yorkers had as a choice. I don't know what their options were. But I can tell you now, the socialist agenda doesn't work. It doesn't work. For so many years, Britain and Canada and all the countries had things in place that worked. Good national health care. You could get dental. You could get your pension. You could have a spending account. How many of those things exist now? Except for the elite. With my education and credentials, I should be earning over 100,000 a year. So how come I'm not? How come? I'm not in favor of Mumdani or whatever his name is, and I'm not supporting him. I'm not. Because I'm watching all these things and I'm thinking, yeah, that's exactly what they promised us in Toronto. Defund the police. We'll set up community policing. Things will get better. Crime will go down. We don't need this. We'll have the social housing in place for people. Homes will be affordable. Guess what? My aim in life, my goal in life was not affordable housing. My aim in life was to own a mansion, like my dad, and a sports car, and Alfa Romeo. That's what my aim was. So bugger it. I'm not supporting the socialists. I'm not. I always wanted better, and I still do. And if you watch even the messages from Our Lady, you have to know how to interpret them. New York has fallen. Good luck, New York. Good luck. Want to vote in socialists? Good luck to you. I'm not a socialist. I hate having to be dependent on the handouts. I want a good paid job. That's what I want.